Cool. Hello everyone. This is Kitofox. Welcome to Sonic Robo Blast 2. Before I begin, I'm going to start with a little bit about this game because as soon as we start this game, things will get a little bit quick, so it'll be hard to explain everything else along then. So, first of all, shoutouts to a couple of the runners of the game, Rikusaurus, as well as let's see. SPCZ and Refrag. Those are some pretty common runners of the game. Hopefully you'll be able to check them out as well because they also play this game. Our community is very small, but we're very, very friendly. So this game is based on the Doom Legacy engine, and it is completely free. You can get it right now at any time and play it anytime you want. Also, hello to everyone else, and I hopefully I'll be able to at least see part of the chat along the way. There might not be much time, but anyway. So, what's our character selection? So we have Knuckles. You guys have picked Knuckles. Knuckles is the slowest of the three, but also the most technical. So we're in for a bit of a treat. So, are we ready? Yeah. On 3, 2, 1, go. So, as soon as we start, we're going to start with a little bit of something. We're basically going to start a spin dash, and what we're essentially going to do is we're essentially going to spin dash through most of the first level. Knuckles does not exactly have the best ground game, so to make up for it, we're probably going to get other things like a speed shoes or a whirlwind shield to help us get around quicker. Anyway, say hello to Green Flower Zone 2. This is also Knuckles' fastest level, and it's also the only normal level that Knuckles is fastest in. And we get used to another game physics abuse we call upglide. Some of you in the Sonic community may know about it. Basically, we're using the lowered gravity of Knuckles' glide to extend vertical momentum up higher than we should. We can do that to skip a whole lot of terrain and beat this level in about 20 seconds. Now, I'm going to let go of the mouse here because this boss is quite trivial. All you have to do is just go for it against the boss. That's all you have to do. That first boss is completely trivial. It's stupidly easy. Yeah, you can beat it without even turning your mouse or anything. And no memes too, yes, there's a little bit of thing we call memes. So here comes our first trick. So that was what we call a bonus jump. It's a frame perfect trick if you happen to abuse the clip up code of Doom to basically jump off of a clip up frame where basically while going up after hitting a gas jet or a fan or a whirlwind, you basically get the ability to abuse the clip-up code to get an extra jump. So as per Knuckles, we're going to be taking Knuckles routes because Knuckles can't take any other route right now. We still have yet to find out ways to skip the Knuckles routes, but for now, we can't. There is actually a Knuckles route which is optional, but we take anyway because it's faster for Knuckles. So you may have noticed that I've been basically letting go of the wall and climbing as soon as I go because this is actually faster to scale walls. Otherwise, we have to sit there and not accelerate as much. So here comes our first little momentum. Yes, got it. Nice. So that's a little bit tricky to do. Basically, there's a spring bot, and you can't land directly on top of it. You have to land on its side instead. It's been development for about 20 years. It's been in pretty much development hell. But it's amazing what everyone has done over the 20 years because it's gone from being such a simplistic 1 or 2 level game, maybe 3 level game, into what's become today. And it's getting an update in about the end of this year. And it's going to be even like doubly, maybe triply gorgeous than it is right now. So it's constantly getting updates. And it's definitely worth it to check it out. I missed the robot. Anyway, speed shoes are another great way to make Knuckles go faster on the ground. So we're definitely going to try and pick up speed shoes whenever we can. So that turret is kind of lame. He'll just sit in that room forever. So here's another instance of speed shoes. Now this is the Deaton room, of course. We can just run past them. So yeah, you're basically running through a lot of the levels really, really quickly. Now, in this game, there is actually not a lot of glitches which are built to, which are more or less abused enough to like skip levels or skip large portions of levels. This game is actually very, very solid. There's very few bugs to abuse. Also, in this elevator, you can basically jump every other frame. Because the elevator is moving up faster than you can jump, so you can basically jump every other frame. It's fun to do. That's the end of the second act, so up next is a boss, and this boss is a little different. Eggman decided he's decided to evolve a little bit. Instead of traveling straight line, he now travels in a very predictable circle. How convenient. Thanks, Eggman. He also likes to shoot goop everywhere too. Normally I'd try to like back him up against the corner, but I also got a bit too fast past him. So yeah, that's the end of the second zone. Second zone's not that bad. We're still getting, so next up is a water level. Surprisingly enough, water levels are actually pretty fun in this game. So I'm gonna try this once. I'm gonna try the Knuckles pillar jump. Normally I do that with Sonic and Run, but it's much, much harder as Knuckles, so I'm gonna give it a try. Well, it's very hard to do, but at least I didn't go in a way where I'd have to restart to the nearest checkpoint. But yeah, that's something that requires like near frame and position timing as well. So it's basically double precision, timing and position based. It's pretty hard to do. What am I doing? So I need these shoes for a reason because they basically help me get past this platform segment. I've had better days. But anyway, we could just sort of jump in anticipation of this crusher, of this platform, so we can just keep on going. Like a lot of this game's speedrun is more or less optimization and trying to get through the level as quickly as possible rather than abusing glitches, which is another reason why I really like this game because instead of like learning out glitches, you get to learn out how to move around quicker. And it's really accessible because you don't have to learn a lot of really complicated things in order to actually speedrun it. Though, be forgiven, there is still glitches and we will still abuse them because Knuckles is Knuckles and he's very broken. In fact, after the run, I'm actually going to show a few glitches that he can do that none of the other casts can do, and it's pretty funny. So right here, there's also a very convenient pair of speed shoes. So we're gonna basically run through this area here, and we're gonna start jumping in this waterfall instead of sitting in it because it's faster to jump out of it because we travel faster than the water slide. We want to hit that there so we can accelerate past this doorway. And here we are. So we get a small auto scroller, so it's pretty nice, but at least we can control it. We can like wiggle around and stuff, I guess. Or get hurt by the spikes if we don't jump high enough. So here's a standard bad advance that all of the characters do. Now I'm going to go over to here, which may cause me to get squished, but that's okay. I'll give it a try anyway. It's not that bad, really. Oh, whoa, close one. So there we go. That's basically skipping the entire room with one spin dash. Spin dash is really overpowered in this game. And Knuckles' walk speed is 34, his run speed is 68, but spin dash is 90, so it's a pretty considerable speed boost, I must say, from his normal movement speed. And that's the end of the second level. So up next, we're coming up with an RNG boss. And yes, I prefer not to use MD2 because I'd rather see where my sprite lays on the ground. It's personal preference. Oh yeah, by the way, Knuckles absolutely wrecks bosses because his control is really, really rigid, so I'm basically sitting here waiting on him to actually pop out of the pipes at this point. But this boss is also RNG because we want him to go in the middle tube because he goes out of the middle tube faster. Whoops. Up and at him. we can also tell which one's the real one because the fake ones don't have an animation. As well they look like blow up doll round shapes, you see? If you look carefully, you can probably see the difference. Oh, it's over here this time. Normally I know where the capsule is, but hey. Sometimes you make mistakes. Yeah, we got one middle only, which is kind of sad RNG, but that's okay. So here's a tricky jump I'm going to do, which involves this little fence. And spin dash off this fence and frame jump a couple times to conserve momentum and bounce on this monitor. Nice. And we're going to use that speed shoes to basically travel through a quarter of the map, like so. Let's see if I can do this. Ah, that's okay. If I had made that, I could have probably actually taken the speed shoes to inside the tree, which is also pretty fun to do. So yeah, this is more or less the Knuckles route. We don't get to see this with Tails and Knuckles because this Knuckles route is just completely slow. It's kind of sad that this is why Knuckles gets skimped, because he's got Knuckles routes. But at least we can still travel through it pretty quickly. And I like to call Knuckles the walkathon because most of his run is just walking. It's pretty fun. But at least once we pick up speed shoes, the pace picks up as well. Also, nice thing that we can do is we can use that chain momentum to go all the way up the tree, which is also pretty fun. Oop. Yeah, I saw that happening a mile away. I knew that was going to happen, but that's okay. So we have to take the slightly slower bottom route, but that's okay because we can still at least play. Now, a lot of the things in this game, you get one chance to do the trick and it's gone. So that's the one thing about this game that sets it from the others is that you get one chance at a trick and then it's gone. So I'm more than likely, if something happens, I won't be able to do it again. The reason why I do that is because I can just hop off this block, and it's a little bit faster than just going through that room. So for the longest time, we used those springs to go up, but I found out that using that badnik is actually a bit faster. And if you're actually doing IL, that actually lets you get to an early chain cycle somewhere in another room, which is also pretty nice, because in this game, every single time frame, even if it's by a second, is absolutely monumental because everything has gotten so precise over the years. So I'm actually going to take one extra swing in this chain swing because that lets me travel a bit faster through this room. And once again, Whirl and Shield is pretty nice when combined with Spin Dash because you can use it to extend momentum much further than anticipated. And anyway, that little ledge climb we do with Knuckles is basically press spin to let go the wall, and then we press the jump button to sort of quickly glide onto the surface, and that lets us quickly get onto a surface because surfaces have more surface tractions than the air does in this game. It also means it slows you down more, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Up and at him. So basically, we want to make sure we get on the ground as much as possible when we're trying to run because that lets us accelerate quicker, which lets us save maybe a little bit of frames, but every time I do that, it adds up to seconds, which is also really nice. So guys, get your Resident Sleepers out because it's time for the longest, boringest boss. So this boss basically is a waiting game. You're supposed to wait until he swings those chain swings, and there's nothing we can do about it. So we've basically got a minute 30 to basically spend time with Excalibur. So. Of course, though, he does have timing frames, though. Every time he swings those maces, he has a delay of 0.5 seconds less each time. He starts from 4 seconds, and it goes down by 0.5 each time. And that's from the final hit anyway, so 1, 2, 3.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. So there you go. You can still time the hits. They just go down by 0.5 every time. Now we want the 2.5 cycle because that's his last hit. That's really important. That's because every time I hit him, up until his last hit, he has like a set time before we can actually start the phase again. However, on his 5th hit, we can advance the phase right away. So we want to get that 5th hit in as soon as possible. Also, there's also that, which you can basically look down to open jail mode, and very accurately, you can basically juggle on his head. Triple bounce is pretty standard. So this level is a bit interesting. So right here, we want to do a spin dash so we can actually basically accelerate through that room quicker. And we want to climb up to, we have a setup for this. We want to climb up to that triangle right about here. And we want to strafe away and let go. And that lets us basically get to that shoes I'm trying to land on. So I'll give it another go since we didn't really do anything. There we go. And we can go up like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump up and jump off this rock so we can land directly next to this spring. So we can land right on this platform, because landing on that platform instead of the ground basically like saves like a frame or two, which is still pretty important. So what you can do is you can basically, whoa, cool. Basically you can hop and frame jump to conserve momentum. I'm going to actually try this once, just because it's pretty fun. This is like the newest IL strat. I'm going to try it once and spin next to this cacti. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the whirlwind shield is really helpful for Knuckles. Oh, that was too close. I got worried for a moment. That was way too close. Anyway, our next goal is to basically spin dash. Here's some more spin dashing. Well, it lasted ever so long, but basically, frame jumping is Knuckles. We call it spin dash jumping because we're spin dashing and then jumping. So here's our first glitch abuse, which is the hyper wall. If you hug certain walls, you can gain momentous velocity from them. It's sort of like Doom's SR50. If you've ever seen like Doom speedruns and their use of the SR50, it's sort of like that. We have that wall glitch too, in our own way. So we're going to keep this whirlwind shield because this whirlwind shield is very important for later in the level. We're going to go over here. We're going to go and jump here. And whirlwind here, and there we go. Nice. Whirlwind shields are very, very helpful in this game because it lets you skip a whole lot of rooms, sort of like this. I almost got the cycle right. But basically, they let you do a whole bunch of like room skips because it's basically a second jump. And after you use that, you could basically use whatever momentum you use with spin dash and actually control it. Because if you spin dash in this game, you can't control unless you jump. Oh, whoa. So here's another little glitch that only Knuckles can do, is you can basically glide off of a surface, and you can take the platform momentum and you can store it, and you can use it again and again. Just wanted to show that off. It's pretty fun. But anyway, let's continue on with the run. So basically how that works is I'm basically gliding off the edge of a platform, and what that does is it sets my platform Z momentum to a value that's going upwards. And because I never touch the ground and I jump off the wall, I can basically use it again and again as long as I stay on the wall. It's pretty fun. Also, there is a way to skip this Knuckles route, but there's no consistent way to do it yet. It's really, really hard, so it's limited to ILs right now. Shoutouts to Oris, he's in chat. He actually figured that out. He's done that. And he actually incorporated an IL, and he got a really, really good time with it. It's very, very hard and involves a lot of mouse wiggling. It's super stupid, but also really fun. Yes, this is a fan game. It was made by a few individuals many, many years ago, back in 1999. So instead of jumping like we normally do, we're going to basically glide over here and just climb our way up, because it's a little bit easier. Yeah, by the way, Or's best time is 109. This time is 129. It saves roughly 15 seconds if done right. It's absolutely crazy. So Egg Rock Zone 2 is diabolical because it's actually one of the most difficult levels in the game, and it's also the longest. If you ever play this as Sonic, Sonic is actually the most infuriating character to play as, because he's actually very, very unfriendly to newer players, but he's also unfriendly to speedrun because he's also very eager to fall into danger because he has no safeties, pretty much. So that's a pretty good way to climb up this room with Knuckles. We don't even need to use that platform cycle. So over here, if we had Tails, we'd be able to fly into that too, and we'd be able to skip this whole space section, but that's alright. We can still play as Knuckles. So instead of going around to the left, we're just going to pop this gravity flip and just go straight to the goal, because there's a convenient little platform down below. Anyway, there's also another mod for this game called Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart. It's a very, very good mod. It's been like in several years in development as well, and it's super polished and super amazing, and I suggest you try it as well. So right here, there is a nice little elevator here, and it wants us to go and over here and like charge the elevator up and like turn on the power. But instead of just taking the elevator, we just climb up the elevator shaft instead, because it's just faster to do that way. Because Knuckles is Knuckles, and he can climb. Ow. I got sniped, man. So we call this the laser meme because it's very easy to get hurt by lasers here. I didn't get laser memes, so I'm happy. Woo. Slip through those lasers. Yeah, if you want to be able to make the camera flip with the gravity, you use the flip cam command. So this room is normally really difficult with Sonic, but it's really trivial with Knuckles and Tails because they could just cheese the whole room. Right here, if you want your little baby emotes or baby character emotes there, we're now Baby Knuckles, so we're now tiny, which is nice because now we can go into this vent that was conveniently placed for us. I'm gonna try this real quick. Nice. Okay. I'll accept the glide on the ground. So if you happen to glide into the ground and touch the ground, you'll go into this little grindy sprite, and I'll show you more on that later. It's kind of broken as well. Oh, okay. I guess we're doing the mini boss without rings then, which is fine because we know where it is. This is why I need the audio cue, because I have to listen to it. So if you've ever played Sonic 2 or Sonic and Knuckles, you'll probably know this kind of boss. It's very similar to Flying Battery Boss. Because this is OpenGL, I can't see the little laser source, so I have to listen for the audio cue. And then we just charge a spin dash so we can just get out of here as soon as possible. By the way, pro tip, this is not an elevator, this is actually a teleporter. It teleports you to the beginning of the level because there's no way they'll be able to wrap up the level back to its start. And that was the end of Egg Rock Zone 2. The longest level. 3 minutes 46 seconds. It's pretty good. So right here, we're going to charge up a spin dash because the door will open and we can just charge out the door after. So now we're going to basically the mini boss. Oh, well, by the way, if you ever die in the game, you can hit retry because retrying is faster than just dying. want to make this a deathless run, but oh well, things happen. So I'm going to very carefully glide out right there, so I can clip right in the surface and get right to the shoes. I don't have to climb on the wall at all. And go up here. If I have speed shoes left over, I might be able to do a cool little trick. Nice, okay. Yeah, getting on that platform is pretty difficult. It also saves a lot of time because you don't have to climb on a wall. And another little thing you could do is if you jump up while going to that anti-gravity, you can jump down faster. But here we go. Jump, jump, jump. Ah. Yeah, that's a little thing we do at the end because there's a really long spin dash jump section. Retry still takes life, but at least it's faster to do that than just dying a death bit. What? Excuse me, no. Excuse me, Metal. At least I got 4 hits, that's fine. So you can get 5 hits on that boss. It's a lot easier to do it on as Knuckles than it is for Tails. But now we have to wait for him to come back down. Then we can hit him again. So now Metal Sonic will start his pinch phase, which is to bash around the arena. He hits 4 walls every time. So basically our plan is to make him go in a diagonal pattern because by Euclidean math, that's his shortest distance he can travel. It also sets us up to AI manipulation as well, so we can go right to him and attack him right away. So we know where he is already. We already know where he's going to be. He also gets faster and faster. So, and because the Knuckles is jump height, eventually on his final hit, we're actually going to have to jump before he dashes because we literally have to do that beforehand because he just literally dashes so fast and our jump height is so small. So this is, in his final phase, he'll dash 8 times. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. And that's 8. Excuse me, Middle, over here. By the way, at the end, at this final hit, he'll always go towards a wall. Just a little pro tip for all you players. That's the end of the second last level. And we've got the final level. So get ready for time, it's coming in about a minute. This is the final boss, and his internal name is ironically called MT_Cybrak Demon, hint hint to the Doom community. Yes, he does shoot rockets just like a Cyber Demon. Yes, he is canonically, again, finally got in the lava. It's a little bit of a thing because his movement is random, and so are his attacks, so is his attacks, so sometimes at the end of the run, we sort of chant to ask him to go in the lava because it's completely random whether he will go in or not. But at least we can guide him in the right direction. So like I said earlier, Knuckles absolutely demolishes bosses, as seen. So here he is in his pinch phase. The walls are gone. We can go behind here to make him... Oh wow, you almost went in the lava right away. Get back here, get in the lava. Good boy. Here we go. Get right on time. Time. 27 is a great time. My best record is a little under 27, so that's like 30 seconds behind my PB. So that is actually a really, really good run. By the way, instead of going to the credits, I'm just gonna do this, because that just skips the credits. Okay, now I'm gonna show you that glitch that I talked about earlier with Knuckles. I'm gonna have to go to here. I'm gonna play as Knuckles in Egg Rock Zone 2. So I'm gonna show that real quick. Oh, don't worry, I'll play the credits after. So we've got to go to a specific point in this level. It's not quite world record, it's off by about 30 seconds, but it's still really, really good. So I'm going to go over here. I mean, we have time to show this glitch, right? It's going to take like a minute. Okay. We've got to get to a certain crusher because that's the best way to show it. Oop. I gotta not die though. That's the thing. It's somewhere closer to the end of the level, so it'll take a bit of time, but it's totally worth it because I'm going to show you just how broken Knuckles actually is. He needs fixing badly. Yes, and by the way, this is the first time SRP2 has ever been shown in a live marathon, so keep that in mind. I do plan to do more of this. I do plan to bring it to more places, because this game is amazing, everyone in the community is amazing, and I hope everyone gets to see it. And we're closing in on it soon. We're almost there. And yes, you get to see Egg Zone 2 speedrun for a second time, because why not? Right, we're almost there, almost there. Right about here. So we've got this crusher here, but here's the thing, Knuckles' animation here is a little bit interesting. Actually, we're going to go ahead and demolish this robot real quick, because he could get annoying. Oh, apparently they fixed that. Or maybe they didn't. Hold on, let's see a better level for this. Oh, I know a better level for this. Right here. So right here, if you grind along a surface... Hold on. If you grind along a surface, well... I want to see if they did patch it. Let me see. Yeah, they did. Wow. So in a previous version, if you ground along the ground as Knuckles, you'd be able to survive crushers. Oh my gosh, I got trolled so hard. Anyway, I really recommend you check out this game at least. It has multiplayer, it has a lot of mods, it has a great community. There's so many people out there to meet, and if you happen to be a Sonic fan, I recommend you at least trying it once. It's pretty fun. And yeah, that was Sonic Robo Blast 2. I hope you enjoyed it.